Hey, this is MMD coming at you with tips for super golf on Roblox. Today I'm going to do Forest. Before I start though, I want to just call out a tip that I use to help me aim shots. I play only on mobile, so this is specific to mobile, but it can apply in PC. You just gotta kind of figure it out. What I do is I use the chat box line here for lining up my shots. It's exactly 50% of the screen. Now, when you launch the game, you have to make sure your phone stays in portrait mode until the game fully launches. Then you can turn it down to landscape and play. That maximizes the chat box. If you don't do that, the chat box can get shrunk and it won't be 50% of the screen, so it won't be as effective for aiming. Anyway, I'll show you how this works out. Okay, for hole one, you notice I got my chat box outline there, and it's if you look way in the distance here, you see a tree trunk. I'm lining exactly up with the right side of that tree trunk. And what we'll do is we'll do a speed of 39. And that'll take you a nice, easy, direct shot right in the hole. All right, hole two. What we're doing here is we're lining up just left of this little black spot there, right there on that wood log, and we're going to shoot 44. I like to use a count of 3 when I take my shots. Timing does impact the shots, so it's a good idea to be consistent on how long you take for your shots. Some shots require quick release, but most of them count of 3. 1, 2, 3 is a good timing. All right, hole 3. Hole 3 is kind of a tough one in Forest. What you got to do is you got to shoot back and to the left off this corner here, and that'll get you right to the hole. What I'm doing is I'm aiming. If you look at the left side of this tree, it's just a little tick to the right off the left side of the tree there. And what we're going to do is we're going to shoot 78. 1, 2, 3. All right, hole 4. Actually, the next 2 holes pretty straightforward. They're straight shots. You just got to hit the right speed. There's really no aiming needed. This one here is 65.5. You can use different speeds. I think there's a dunk speed here, but this is what I use. And this is all timing, right? You just got to get through little spinning gates. I like to do it right as they just pass touching each other, and I go boom. Okay, hole 5. As I said, straight shot. This one is going to be 83, and it's a dunk shot. Okay, hole 6. Here you'll see the chat line lined up right where the tile line hits the wedge right there. And this one we're going to do 55.5. All right, this is hole 7. I do not have a hole-in-one shot for this. And the way I do it, a little tricky. I like to dunk it, so we'll see if this works out. What we're going to do here, let me show you the lineup. You can see I go just a little bit to the right of that corner there. I'm going to do a 54.5. The idea here is you want to get close to center. And this is what I found works for me for the next shot. All right. And what we're going to do is zoom out a little bit here so we can see the flag. We're going to line up this shot pretty much on the flag. I sometimes go just a tad to the left. Let's see if this works. Oops. All right, and here we're going to shoot 100. 2. Boom. All right, hole 8. This is kind of funny because this is a pretty straightforward shot, you'll see. But a lot of people are shocked that this one can be hole in one. Here we go. This one here, as you can see, I'm lining up just to the left of that tree there. And we're going to do an 83.9. Okay, hole 9. What I'm doing here is I'm lining up. If you see where the tile line meets the wedge, I'm just a little bit to the right of that and a little bit to the left of that tree and the tree trunk in the background. And this is a nice slow shot. We're just going to go 38, which is going to get us just to the hole. All right, we're at hole 10. This one can be a tricky little hole. It has a lot to do with timing. If you can see, I'm lined up right here, just to the left of the flag, right there in the distance. Now, as I said, this one's tricky. So if I don't get it the first time, I'll just reset it and we'll shoot it again. You'll get to see both attempts. But let's see how this works out. So this one here is an 80.3. I want to make sure we give it the full 3 seconds. 2, 3. Let's try again. There we go again. There we go. All right, hole 11. Actually, for hole 11 and hole 12, I don't have the hole in one shot down on mobile. So I'll show you what I do. And neither one of the shots that I do is 100% consistent. So I'm not going to keep retrying them. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll tell you what I try to do. And if you do it right, it's pretty consistent. So here, you can see I'm lined up against the signpost there, a little bit to the left. I'm just going to do a quick 100. I'm not going to wait 3 seconds. It's a fast. It's go to 100 and shoot. That'll get you up here on the wall. Then what we're going to do is we're going to set up an 89.5 shot. I'll line it up and I'll show you. Okay, here we go. We're lined up. You can see I'm at the flag. And we're going to try to get 89.5. On mobile, that's not one that you can do standard. So you got to kind of come above the line to get to 89.5 to stick. 2, 3. And there's your Albatross. Okay, hole 12. I'm going to try to do the shot that gets you an Albatross. I haven't quite got this to hole in one. If the shot's done correctly, and timing's really important, it'll get you right next to the hole. If I can't get it, then I will show you my backup shot that I use. Let's give it a shot here. So the aim is just a tick to the left of one of the legs on that water stone there. And we're going to shoot at 100, but it's going to be exactly 3 seconds. But it's going to be a little bit, I guess, a little bit longer than 3 seconds. You'll hear. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'll give it one more shot. Like I said, it's a tricky shot. We'll give it one more try. There we go. If you get that done on the first shot, you get yourself an Albatross. I don't usually mess around with that shot, so I'll show you what I do when I'm playing. Is I go mid of this little tile here, 56.4. And then I use this tile line here. I usually come up around here, but you want to get up about this area here. And it's touchy. You got to be kind of careful on the second shot. 100. If you do it just right, you can get yourself an Albatross. or an eagle. But, that's usually what I'll end up with is an eagle or an albatross, which is fine by me. All right, hole 13. You can see here I'm lining this up right where the two of those little corners meet right there. I do a 39.4 for my shot. I hear that 42 will work directly straight, so you can give that a shot, but this is what I do because I'm used to it. Hey, hole 14. Hole 14 is a tricky little beast, actually. I cannot do the straight shot strategy that someone on the PC can do. It just will not work on the mobile. So I've come up with this shot. I'm lining this thing up where underneath here where those two corners kind of meet. It's a slight bit to the left. And I will shoot 89. And you'll see this is kind of a tricky shot. If you get your aim down, it's pretty consistent. All right, hole 15. I think this is the gem of this video as far as not a lot of people know about this strategy. It works pretty darn well. It's pretty easy. Some people try to do 93, I think 93.3 or something like that for a dunk to the hole. Can work, but you can't go straight. This shot is a straight shot. And all you're going to do is do 68.6. But you have to count to 3 seconds for it to work. Let's do that again. Sometimes that happens. And this will happen if you don't count the 3 seconds. So let's give that one a shot again. As I said, I'm doing this all in one take, so you gotta suffer through some of these retakes. Here we go. And even though I missed the first one, this is actually pretty consistent. I rarely ever miss that. Okay, hole 16. I do not have a hole-in-one strategy for this. It's a tricky little hole. I do have a pretty consistent way to get it in 2 shots. So let's give it a shot here. So you can see where I'm aiming, right where those 2 corners meet. That's the... if you can look, it's slightly to the left of the exact center of that, but that's kind of the target point. And what we're going to do is we're going to shoot 90.2. And this one here, you can't go too quick. You have to wait the full 3 seconds or you're not going to get the effect that you want. And it's a bit timing. Obviously, you got to time those little loops. So 90.2. There we go. We'll get you out to this shot here. And the second shot, 26.5 to 27 usually works fine. All right, hole 17. The safe bet here is just to shoot 100 straight, and then I think it's like 55 or 56 up the hole, or up the hill to the hole to get you now. I forget what it is, but it's 2 shots. This is the hole-in-one shot, and it's a very tricky shot. I can tell you what I'm using to aim right there. The edge of the tree branch there, lining up right on the edge of that. And you're going to go 90.9, and you're not going to wait 3 seconds. It's quick, but it's a tough one. I'm not going to keep redoing this. I'm going to give it 1 shot, but you'll get the idea. If it goes in, great. If it doesn't, you'll still get the idea. I'd probably hit this about 50% of the time, maybe a little less, maybe 40%. So let's give it a shot and see what we get. We're going to do that again. Okay, I do not usually land in the water, so that was really bad. Usually it'll end up by the hole either way. So let's give it a shot again. There we go. That's the idea. Like I said, I get about 40% of the time I get it in the hole, but it's really tough to line up. So I'd suggest just shooting straight for this hole. Take your 2 shots and be happy. All right, finally, we're at hole 18. There is a falcon strategy here. I can't do it on mobile. I've not been able to do it, so I'll show you the ostrich method here. Where I'm lined up here is just a little bit to the right of the corner there. Point it out to you. Just right to the right of that. We're going to shoot about 30.3, and that'll get us set up for our second shot. All right, second shot. Zoom out a little bit here. And what we want to do is we want to get down to where the tile line, if you look down here, meets the wedge. And you want to get it right where it's meeting the wedge right there. I'm sorry, not the wedge, the wall. And we're going to shoot at 41. Now, this one requires a little bit of timing. I'll show you in a second. 41.3 is fine. Up here, there's a spinning little barrier. What you want to do is when it's pointing back and forth this way, you're going to shoot. And that should be good timing. So here we go. If you do it right, you'll be set up right in front of that, and you'll be lined up for the final shot. Final shot you're going to take up right over here, down the center, and you're going to shoot 78 into the boat. There you go. That's forced. And like I said, there's a few holes there that haven't got a hole in one. But if you shoot what I shot you there, you probably win most matches you ever made. All right, guys, take care. This is MMD, and I'm out. Thanks a lot.